In this video, I will be making Nyonya chicken curry from Sambal Shiok, the Malaysian cookbook by Mandy Yen, published in 2021. This is a fantastic book for a cuisine that is not very well known in the US. I would call this recipe and many others a sort of fusion of South Asian and East Asian cuisines, which makes sense considering Malaysia's geographic location. I spent some time in Johor Bahru in Malaysia, and so far the recipes I've tried in this book seem quite authentic to the food that I had there. It has nice pictures with all of the recipes and a wide selection of different dishes, including some of the more well-known ones like Malay red chicken or chicken satay. For a lot of these recipes, you will need access to an Asian market or a market that carries Asian produce. Many recipes also have ingredients that are not common in normal Western supermarkets, like shrimp paste or other jarred or canned ingredients or dried ingredients. But most of those you can find online on Amazon or other online grocery retailers. If you love Malaysian food or the associated flavor profiles, or you just want to try something different with tasty recipes, then this is definitely the book for you, and I recommend you pick it up. Here is our setup for our Nyonya chicken curry. There's a lot of ingredients here, and some of them may be unfamiliar to you if you're not used to this kind of cooking, but we're going to walk you through it all here. Luckily, most of the odd ingredients you can get either at a local Asian market or online via Amazon or some other shipping service. I'll put links in the description to all of the ones that you can get that way. So we've got bone-in chicken thighs that have been marinating in a mixture of turmeric powder, salt, and canola oil for at least an hour, but it can be up to and including overnight. We've got chopped canned tomatoes, turmeric powder, cinnamon stick. These are macroot lime leaves, fresh ginger. We've got red chili peppers. We've got white onion, fresh ginger, fresh lemongrass, tamarind paste, coconut milk, canola oil, shrimp paste, and dark brown sugar. And that's everything. We're going to use it all. Most of it's going to go into a paste or in seasoning, and you won't actually notice it other than the flavor in the actual curry. But with all that said, let's go ahead and hop into the kitchen. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to brown our chicken. So we're not trying to cook it all the way through. We're just trying to brown it on each side. And once it's browned and has a nice char on it, then we're going to deglaze this pan and set the chicken aside. The chicken doesn't need to be cooked all the way through at this point because when we add it back to the stew, it'll get cooked down and cooked all the way through at that point. So, all right, I'm going to brown these chickens, and I'll show you what that looks like when I remove them from the pot, and then we'll be back. And while the chicken is browning, we're going to go ahead and make our spice paste as well. So just get you a food processor. I have two different food processors. I have a smaller one for stuff like this, and a larger one for heavier duty things. But just go ahead and get your onions in, and garlic, and then we will sort of grind this down a little bit. Lemongrass, and some of the chili peppers. And then we're going to add about a teaspoon of our shrimp paste, which should also help add a little bit more liquid to this. And about the same amount of turmeric. Of the chili peppers. All right, I'm going to finish grinding this up into a paste, and I'll let you guys go, and then I'll be back. Okay, you can see we've got this beautiful golden char on a golden fry on our chicken here. So I'm going to remove these out and do the next batch of chicken. I just want to show you what this looks good right here. This is what you want them to look like when they come out. All right, our chicken is browned and removed from the pan, and now we're actually going to deglaze the pan with about half a cup of water. Be careful at this step because the oil will probably not react super happy. Whew. There you go. See, that's why you have to be careful. And now, we're going to add the spice paste from earlier. And you want to get as much of that spice paste down as you can. And always be careful working with turmeric because it is a natural yellow dye. And so just really be careful that you don't spill it on things that can get stained, because if it can be stained, it probably will be stained when you're dealing with turmeric. Okay. Go ahead and mix that in there so it all gets nice and incorporated. Oh yeah, that's a nice thick curry base. Okay, and we're gonna let this simmer. I've lowered it down to medium heat. We're gonna let this simmer for about 10 minutes. I'm gonna cover it so it doesn't lose liquid because this is we wanna retain as much liquid as possible on this. So, all right, I'll let you guys go and see you at the next step. Okay, at this point, we're just cooking it until the oil separates, which you can see has happened now. There's a layer of oil across the top. So now we're gonna go ahead and put the rest of our ingredients in. So we're going to go ahead and put those tomatoes. And coconut milk. The cinnamon and our recruit lime leaves in. And we're going to do about a tablespoon of the tamarind paste, which is quite sticky. If you've never worked with it before, that's what's taking me a minute to get it out here. And then 2 tablespoons of dark brown sugar. Okay, and let's get all that mixed together here. Obviously, before we eat, we will remove any of the leaf bits that we see, as well as the cinnamon stick. So let me see if we can get that tamarind incorporated here a little bit. It will cook on its own and get in there, but man, that sauce smells really good, and you can see it's blending together really good. And it's forming a nice, really rich, thick curry as well. So, okay, the last thing to do is now we're just going to return our chicken to the curry. So just go ahead and put all that back in there. And we're going to let this cook as is for about 20 minutes. And I'm going to cover it so that it cooks without losing liquid, and the chicken will also release juices that will add liquid as well. So, all right, I will see you guys at the next step when our curry is done. Okay, our curry gravy is done. You can see as it cooked, the color kind of changed to a much darker orange, which is sort of characteristic of this particular curry. I'll remove all those bits out there. But yeah, it looks really good. You can see just how thick the gravy is. And this is going to be really good. It is a very spicy dish. So if you are not a spicy person, this either you may want to use bell peppers as opposed to Asian hot chilies or something else. But you could probably make a mild version of this. But in any event, I'm going to plate this up and I'll see you guys at the finale. All right, and here is our plated Nyonya chicken curry. I steamed up some basmati rice and added a little bit of a parsley garnish, but the meat is fall off the bone. It's tender, the gravy is thick, it's got all of these wonderful aromatic herbs and spices in there. So I encourage you, if you've never had Malaysian food, give it a shot. The curry is really good, it's really spicy, and I think you'll enjoy it. So if you like my content, please like and subscribe to my videos, and we will see you next time.